phase off. Hold on. And this is the other phase. 1, 2, 3. Hello. Something changed in the I don't know why the phase changed, but and also sounds a lot more low end in there, which is weird. But well, weird microphones. I don't know.
I don't know. To me, Brett, it sounds like it's brick walling between 3 and 4 somewhere. I don't hear a lot of at all.
Yeah, that's the way it is. It's not going to pass anything over 3,050 hertz. You know, it's a rice box, so you got to work within that limit. I'm just saying what, you know, if you can get halfway decent sound out of it with you know, within that limit.
I mean, to me, I think it sounds quite good. It sounds like you.
Yeah, I liked it wherever you've emphasized the lower end. I like that there, and it's not bad at all. I really, this is the best it sounded so far.
Yeah, this is pretty simple too. It's an Audio-Technica M8000 microphone, dynamic microphone, which is about $30. But they sound pretty good to me. And that's going into that preamp, an ART preamp, which was I think it was $50 new, and it's got equalizer. I got the treble all the way up. I got the bass up halfway, and there's an effects loop. I could put a graphic equalizer in there and really cut the mud frequencies or boost things and all that. You know, so this radio would need its own audio chain because there's really no way to integrate it with all the other stuff, mainly because of the push-to-talk. I don't have a common push-to-talk button. The push-to-talk button's on the microphone stand, which is hooked up to a whole bunch of stuff. And this radio requires its own push-to-talk, and it can't key the other push-to-talk because that keys all the TR relays and everything. So we basically disconnect the radio from the antennas. So it's a standalone setup, and I got to come up with something that I can plug into it that basically is going to tailor the audio to where it sounds good, and set it up that way, and just have it as a completely separate kind of station. But that's what I'm playing with. Yeah, I'll have to play around with this aspect of it. I got a little room in the cabinet. I can put the equalizer above the radio and maybe even a graphic equalizer, and maybe I'll sound marvelous.
Well, it's the best you've sounded so far. Steve, he's been going through this a couple of days now, and you've seen the evolution.
Well, I can tell you, I think it sounds, Brett, 1,000 times better than like a stock 7300 or some other form of rice box does. So, sounds quite good.
I was just saying that. I don't have a good voice, so that's a whole other aspect of it. I'm never going to sound really good on the air.
It sounds like you. You sound like you do on one of your other rigs, you know.
That's really the test. If he sounds like this on like the 4D32 rig, then he's doing good.
Okay, all right. Well, I'll have to figure out. I'll have to do a lot of soldering and making of cables and all that fun stuff that we love so much. And then I have to blast things out of the cabinet and put this stuff in there and run amok with the cords, and no doubt I will knock something off and something in the future will not work anymore. But that's something for me to spend my time on at night when I'd rather not watch TV, right? So fun with good, wholesome AM. Thanks for the help, guys. I know it's probably boring and you've been through, how many of these? 10,000? How's this sound? How many times have you heard that? How's this sound? What's this sound like? Yep. Well, 10,001 time.
Well, you know, the payoff is right now, though, because you got success. One of these days, when you have jury duty and want to stay home after you don't get called to the jury, we'll do an A/B with what you consider your best sounding transmitter, and that'll be the acid test.
Yeah, it depends on what you're talking, best sounding, because there's different categorizations for that. I think right now, the best sounding transmitter I have is the 4D32 rig, because it has a really good modulation transformer in it. The A13 rig used to have one of those in it. I moved it to the 4D32 because it's a lower voltage transformer, and I have the T368 now. And that thing sounds pretty clean. I think that sounds pretty nice. The screen modulated stuff goes wider frequency response, I think, but I don't think it's quite as clean. It's acceptable. So, I guess it's coming down to the quality of the mod iron. And I don't want to be a perfectionist. I just want to get it so it sounds fairly decent. And this probably won't even stay around. It's kind of handy having a general purpose all mode radio, but I don't know if it'll stay around or not. Now, if I had the flex back, this 6400M, I could get that thing to sound like however I want. It's an SDR. That thing will pass anything. So this is an effort in trying to get 10 pounds of stuff in a 5-pound box.
Well, when you think about it, the Nuvo 75 wasn't meant to sound hi-fi, but with the changes that you made to allow external audio and the changes that I made by adding a graphic equalizer and a compressor to it, that thing sounds better than a lot of transceivers, and it's $125. Top of the hour, WA3VJB Annapolis.
KB1VWC, Falmouth, Cape Cod.
And N2DTS, somebody else is in there. Yeah, and you ever think about adding a 3-band, processed audio to that thing?
Well, that's what this is. The combination unit, the Rolls HC11C, is not only a compressor peak limiter, but it's a 5, 10, 12-band EQ.
Yeah. Well, you actually sound really good on that. I've heard it, and I think you sound. I'm no judge, but I think you sound pretty much like you do on the other rig.
Well, that's the scary part, is that here's this $1.25 rig that's not supposed to sound as good as it does, and even if it is just 5 watts, man, listen to that thing. Yeah, no, it really passed my muster. I'm keeping this baby.
He's got professional voice there, Brett. We can't compete.
That's true. That's very true. And that'll do a lot for any radio. Really will. But that radio, and it's really a shame the microphone that they included with that and the whole setup. That could have been, with a few simple changes, that probably wouldn't have required any additional cost, other than maybe a good microphone. That thing, could have came that way from the factory with really good audio.
Well, I don't think the 4-state QRP club is aware of the interest in good quality sounding AM. It's great that they're using an AM project anyway, that they're building something like this. I just wish they'd come up with one for 40.
Yeah, at that power level, 40 would be a little more effective. Although, on 75 or 80 meters, whatever you want to call it, at about 5 to 6 or 630, those things rock.
Well, look at Steve running 10. And why are you running 10 watts, Steve?
Because I'm trying to be green, Paul. I'm trying to save the planet here.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you believe that? That's good.
Oh, yeah.
No, I'm just too lazy to... I was on earlier with Timmy and Brett talking about does it sound better now? Does it sound better now? He went through about 15 different D104 heads trying to select the best one, so I know all about that.